Yo, 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 how's everybody doing tonight? FOMO Trader here, going to be going over some charts and some possible trade setups for the upcoming week of April 4th, 2022. Looks like we had a nice bounce on SPY and QQQ near the end of the day. So if we come over here and we look at SPY on the 5-minute, we had a real nice bounce. We had a little run up, a little bit of a sell off, and then a bounce. So looks like it held pretty well. Had a bunch of buying pressure here. So all this buying forced the candle back up. So let's see what we can find. I'm going to go over some charts here and look at some different stuff and see what we can find out. So first, I would like to look at the daily time frame and go over and look for inside bars. And my inside bars on my charts automatically turn yellow. So the first one that I found that I want to look at and go ahead and set the levels up on is on ARC. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw the high and the low of the bar before the inside bar, and then we are going to draw our Fibonacci from the low to the high to get our bullish targets. So if we switch over here to the 5-minute on ARC, we would be looking for a break above what we got here. Let me reset this and get it exactly right. So the high was 68.61 to get exact numbers, and the low was 66.27. So there we go. So we're looking for a, that's not right, 68.61, 68.65. Okay, so looking for a break above 68.65, we'll call it. So we're going to go ahead and set up an alert here. And we're going to go above 68.65. We're going to do ARC over 68.65. And let me get my broker open here. Thought I already had it open, but I don't. Okay, so broker is open, and we are going to look at the options chain for ARC, and we're looking at expiration of April 8th. So above 68.65, and if we come up here and we go 1, 2, 3 Fibonacci extension levels above our entry trigger, it would be 69.56. So 69.50 calls. Expiration will be April 8th. Our price targets on this will be 68.90, 69.30, 69.55, 69.85, and 70.10. I'm just rounding to the closest number, guys. Our stop loss, we are not going to go super wide on it. So we are going to set our stop loss in between our entry trigger, which was 68.65, and the 23.6. So we're going to come in here to about the halfway mark, which is 68.35. That'll be our stop loss. So stop loss and our entry trigger. So our stop loss would be 68.35. So if we come back in here and edit this alert, and our risk to reward on this trade, if we do a long position, so we enter on a break of 68.65. Our final price target is 70.10, and our stop loss is 68.35. That's a 4.83, and that's if final price target is hit. So I'm going to take this and post this in the chat. Now sorry, a little bit of technical difficulties. So now our downside play, we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to get rid of the fib. So we still have our high and low marked from the daily. So high and low. Come back over here, and now we are going to draw our fib from the high to the low. Let's just make sure this is exactly precise. So the high is 68.65, and then our low here, 66.27. So now we are looking for a break below 66.27. So we're going to set up our alert here. So we're going to say below 66.27. So arc under 66.27. And we're going to count 1, 2, 3. 3 fib extensions from our entry point, which would be 65.36. So we're going to look at the 65.50 puts. Expiration would be April 8th. Price targets would be 66, 65, 60, 65, 35, 65.10, and 64.80. Stop loss is going to be in between, so we're going to set our stop loss in about the middle here. So this is going to be our stop loss. At 66.50. Nice psychological round number. And our risk to reward on this trade, if we go short, so entry on a break of 66.27. Final price target would be 64.80. And our stop loss would be 66.50. Risk to reward on that trade is a 6.39. Phenomenal. Post this one to the chat as well. Save this. Wait for the trigger to happen tomorrow and don't force anything. So that's ARK. Now I'm going to switch back to the daily time frame, and we are going to continue to look for inside bars before I go over the other tickers that I want to look at. Get rid of this stuff. So this is what I do basically every night before the next day. I'll come in here and look at my same watch list of same tickers, and I will find the first thing I'll look for is inside bars, because inside bar setups are great, because normally when they break out of that inside bar, you'll see a nice explosion in one way or another, as long as there isn't a pump fake, which that does happen sometimes. So not seeing any yet. I believe I did see one. So I believe if we zoom in on Facebook and we look, this is an inside bar here. So we've got the high of the previous day. This was Friday, the 1st of April, and then the previous day was March 31st. So we've got the 3/31/22 high of day, and we'll put that on the top. And then we've got 3/31/22 low of day. So what we're looking for is we're looking for a break above the high or above the low of the prior day, where we want the inside bar to break out. So I'm going to draw my fib from the low. Actually, we'll come over here to the 5 minute and draw it from the low to the high. So we're going to draw it from the low to the high. So the high on this candle is 228.49. 228.49, and your low down here is 222.26. So there we go. So now we're perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up, and we're going to look for a breakout of this inside bar. So I'm going to set up an alert, and I'm going to use this as a trigger. So we're looking for a break above 228.50. So Facebook over 228.50. And I'll come over here and look at the options chain. And we'll go up 1, 2, 3. That's $230.87 would be our third price target. So that's real close to 231. So let's see, we've got 230, 230, 250, and 235. So we will look at the $230 calls. Don't want to go too far out the money. Expiration April 8th. Price targets, or we're going to go from the 10% to 27.2, 38.2, 50%, and 61.8, with 61.8 extension being our home run target. So we've got 229, 10, 230, 20, 230, 90, 231.60, and our fifth price target would be 232.35. Stop loss. Once again, we're not going to set it too wide. We're going to come in here to about the halfway point in between your 23.6 and your entry. And we're going to use this as our stop loss. And that's going to be 227.80. Risk to reward on this trade. What do you guys think? I think it's going to be pretty damn big. Pretty damn big if you ask me. So we're going to do long position. We're going to draw a risk to reward. So we're going to look for a break above 228.50. Our final price target would be 232.35, and our stop loss would be 227.80. 5.5, 5.5 times your money. 5.5. And I'm just going to set these triggers, post them in the chat. I'm just going to set them, wait for the alert to happen, then enter the trade. Keep a tight stop loss. As the price progresses and moves up through my price targets, I'm going to move my stop loss up. So that way I get a trade for free, or I get a trade for very little risk. Now we're going to look at the downside. So we're going to take our fib and we're going to draw it in the opposite way. We're going to go from the high to the low. So just make sure we're right. The high is 228.49. 228.49 to 222.30. 222.26. There we go. So now we're going to set up this alert. We're going to look under 222.25, we'll just call it. So Facebook under 222.25, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 219.88. So the 220 puts look prime for me. Price targets 221.65, 220.60, 219.90, 219.15, and 218.40. Stop loss, gonna come into about the halfway point like we've been doing. And we're gonna set our stop loss here. we'll just call it 223 on the head. And risk to reward on this trade for doing puts or the short side. So we're going to look for a break under 222.25 of that inside bar breakout. Our final price target would be 218.40. And our stop loss would be 223. 5.13. So over 5 times your money. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Come back over here to the daily. Look for some more inside bar setups. This is just my routine every night before the next day or the next week. So one I want to look at that's not an inside bar is Mrk here. So Mrk has just been on an absolute tear. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, this is just phenomenal uptrend. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about 25, 30 days in a row of just uptrend. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to plot this one out. This is an outside bar setup. So we're going to do this pretty much the same way, but instead of doing the bar before, we're going to do the current bar. The outside bar has a higher high and a lower low than the prior day's bar. So it's higher and lower. So that's what makes it an outside bar. So we're going to set our outside bar high. So this is our outside bar high from 4/1/22. And then we've also got our outside bar low from April 1st, 22. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to plot these resistance areas as well. So we've got resistance right there. We got some fairly decent resistance here. And then we have a huge gap up. I mean, the price goes from about 84.75 all the way up to 91.40. I mean, that's over a $5 gap. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here to the 5-minute and I'm going to draw my Fibonacci. So I'm going to draw it from the low to the high. So I want to make sure this is precise. So the low of this candle here is 81.64, which is correct. And then the high of this candle is 83.58. So that is right on the money. That never happens. So we're going to look for a break above 83.60. So Mrk over 83.60. We're going to count 1, 2, 3. Our third price target here is 84.32 and then 84.55. So if we pull up the Mrk options chain, so I am going to go with the $85 calls. Expiration 4/8/22. Price targets 83.80, 84.10, 84.30, 84.55, 84.80. Stop loss. We're going to come in here and find the halfway point, and we're going to set this as our stop loss. Which is 83.35. Risk to reward. So we're going to go on a break above 83.60. Final price target being 84.80, and our stop loss being 83.35. 4.8. 4.8 times your money. So this one looks to be more of a swing trade. So I'm going to post this one to the chat as well. Now we can look at downside potential, but I don't really want to. I think Mrk's going to continue in an uptrend. So we're just going to skip that for now. I'm going to look at one more real quick. I've got to run, but I'm going to look at Tesla here. If we look at the daily, so we have a bull flag going up. Let me turn magnet mode off. So we have a bull flag. We have a flag formed here. So I'm going to go ahead and plot this one out. So I'm going to erase that. I'm going to mark the high and the low. And I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to draw the Fibonacci from the low to the high. So the high of this candle is 1094.75. And the low of this candle is 1066.64. So there we go. We're precise. So we're looking for a break over 1095. And if we count 1, 2, 3, be 1105. So be looking at the, I'm going to go with the 1110s because I think if we can break out, we're going to have a good chance here. So the 1110 calls, expiration 8th, price targets 1097.50, 1002.40, or $1,102.40, 1105.50, 1108.80, and our final price target would be 1112.12. Stop loss would be in the middle. Which is, we'll just call it 1091.50. And risk to reward on this trade. I'm looking for a break over 1,095. Our final price target would be 11. We'll just call it 11.12. And our stop loss would be 1,091.50. Risk to reward is 4.86. Alright, sorry guys, I gotta run. I'm gonna post this one to the chat as well. Sorry I have to go. If you liked my video, found it helpful, please hit the subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, and share with your friends. I greatly appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow. I hope we all can make some money. Stay positive, stay green. Have a good night.